Today is a memorable day in Emeabiam. The community is honoring one of her illustrious daughters with the highest title ever bestowed on a woman in the land, Ada Emeabiam II. There is celebration in the air. The people of Emeabiam appear in vibrant colors, showcasing a rich culture and heritage. One of the most neglected communities in Imo State, Emeabiam sits on a precipitous edge. Yet today, as they honor one of their daughters, history is being made, and the people of Emeabiam are ready for change. For a new dawn, the story begins here, where Her Excellency Mrs. Betty Anyanwu-Akeredolu was born to the family of a village headmaster, Chief B.U.B., and Neoma Dora Anyanwu. She was 7 when Nigeria gained independence. The decade that follows is unstable for the young nation, from bloody coups to a civil war, and communities like Emeabiam are ravaged in its wake. The people survived and rebuilt, but things will never remain the same. Over the years, a lot has changed here, but for Mrs. Betty Anyanwu-Akeredolu, Emeabiam is home. And coming home always brings nostalgia and fond memories of growing up.
Growing up here, I have good memories. As you know, I'm the daughter of a headmaster. I lived my life in this community, Emeabiam. I think up till 1963, before my parents were transferred to another town, Avon. Then the war broke out and we had to return here. I never knew any other place. I can call myself a village girl, and proudly so, but a village girl that had enlightened upbringing, because my parents were teachers. I got to know what was happening outside the world without really being there, because teachers would always want to teach their kids things that were happening elsewhere, not necessarily immediate surroundings.
Mr. Uzoma Aka, the oldest man in Emeabiam, has lived a century and seen a nation go to war. He has witnessed many of the changes happening here.
I want progress and harmony in Nigeria until my lifetime. I don't want trouble. I don't want to see another war or misunderstanding in Nigeria again. I want to have a peaceful country. 40 years ago, we lived in thatched roof, but now we have permanent house, fine building, motors, have educated people more than as before.
Located in the eastern heartland, Imo State, Emeabiam is home to over 15,000 people. Mainly a farming community, Emeabiam is blessed with arable land and abundant natural resources.
Growing up, we were involved in farming. The normal routine of a village girl was the same, because teachers, they own farmlands, and you farm, you cultivate, and so on. And you have to trek to fetch water. In those days, you go to the river Onamroka, and you swim and swim, because you probably want to escape going to the farm.
Emeabiam is home to two great rivers which form its natural boundaries. Otamiri on the east and Uramurukwa at the western border. Both rivers meet to form a confluence from where they both journey into the great Imo River. The confluence is Emeabiam's potential tourist destination, but the site is yet to be developed and lack of good access roads makes it difficult to access the area. Shortly after independence in 1960, the government of the Eastern region began a series of rural development projects to develop the agricultural potential of the region. Emeabiam was on the map with rich arable land. It was a prime destination for what would be the largest rubber plantation in Nigeria, the Emeabiam Rubber Estate, spanning 1,262 hectares. It took about 5 years to complete the project. Emeabiam Rubber Estate was greeted with hope and excitement. Over a 5-year period, a rubber processing plant would be built. New jobs would be created and the plantation would boost economic development in the community. But everything changed when the war came.
Before that civil war, the civil war started in 1967. They have finished planting. So as the civil war broke out, a lot of people left the estate. A lot of people left the estate, including the workers, everybody. The principal aim of the Eastern Nigeria then is to introduce this estate, employ the indigenous, train them. At a level, you now leave them to manage it. So around 1980, the community found out that the aim has been defeated. There was a protest from the host community.
The war comes to an end and the plantation is dubiously privatized by the government. A new management takes over but is ineffective, and Emeabiam, the host community, is deprived of dividends from the plantation. Today, little activity is going on here. The Emeabiam Rubber Estate is a shadow of itself. Rubber, a resource which used to be the 4th largest foreign exchange owner in Nigeria, is now neglected due to the discovery of oil. Nigeria loses $6 billion annually in the rubber market, and communities like Emeabiam feel the brunt. Emeabiam is at the brink, a little village in the eastern heartland, rich in natural resources but grappling with the challenge of development. With a teeming youth population in need of employment, youth restiveness is on the rise.
Our problem and challenges is 1, education, 2, youth restiveness, 3, awareness. Our people don't go out more to get to learn other people's practice, ways of life. But I think these days things are changing. And with the coming of Her Excellency, Mrs. Betty Anyanwu-Akeredolu, Emeabiam is going to see light more than we are seeing it today.
The major challenge we have in this community is road. We don't have good road in this community. When it rains or during the rainy season, you find it difficult to access this community. And it has affected agriculture in this community. It has affected commerce. It has affected other developmental strives, that people would have loved to engage in this community. For instance, in this community, we are predominantly farmers. We have farmers here, but how to take their produce to the markets, various markets around, becomes a problem. We know we have other issues like no hospital in the community and all that. But these other ones, I think the community can strive. I think they can tax themselves to be able to have a hospital. But for that of road, no individual can do it, and no community can do it. So we are calling on the government to come in.
The Betty Anyanwu-Akeredolu Foundation has been at work here, from free medical care to scholarships and girl child empowerment. Mrs. Akeredolu is determined to lift her people. At a time when education of the girl child was unpopular in Igbo land, Mrs. Betty Anyanwu-Akeredolu became one of the first ever female graduates in Emeabiam. Today, she champions the cause for improved educational standards and more teachers for the community. This secondary school was built by the community. It is the only one in Emeabiam. 3 years ago, it was dilapidated, but the government was jolted to action after Ms. Akeredolu donated an ultra-modern toilet facility to the school. The school now has a new look due to her intervention. The community has convened a town hall meeting here to discuss the future of Emeabiam. The meeting is organized by the Betty Anyanwu-Akeredolu Foundation. The 5 villages are here. Emeabiam people are unanimous in their agreement. Access roads will be a major growth catalyst for the community, creating opportunities for aquatourism and agriculture. Hope rises in Emeabiam, a community blessed with rich human and natural resources. The challenge of development is tedious, but progress is possible. At the fore of the struggle is a true daughter of Emeabiam, Mrs. Betty Anyanwu-Akeredolu, working assiduously to improve the lives of her people. Her numerous contributions have not gone unnoticed. The Emeabiam people have decided to honor her.
Igolo has been a generous woman even before she became the first lady. Her magnanimity is everywhere in Emeabiam. Many people have been trained. Every development in this place, we trace it to her.
The Ada Emeabiam Institution was established shortly after the war to honor daughters of Emeabiam who distinguished themselves through service to the community. Today, Mrs. Betty Anyanwu-Akeredolu accepts the title of Ada Emeabiam, an honor well deserved. She is the second person to receive the title in Emeabiam. The coronation is performed at the Igwe's palace with many dignitaries present. As always, the governor of Ondo State, Rotimi Akeredolu, is here to support his wife. The items presented are rich in symbolism. The neck beads signify peace, a hand fan for goodwill, and a staff to govern.
Everybody who knows Her Excellency knows that the Betty Anyanwu-Akeredolu Foundation has been working for the development of this community at least over the last 5 years. And we are happy and proud today to have her in our midst, to be recognized and be given this traditional title of Emeabiam II.
At the field, the Emeabiam people are waiting for the arrival of their daughter after the coronation at the palace. Her arrival is greeted with enthusiasm. The Emeabiam people are celebrating their own, a true daughter of Emeabiam. They are eager to hear her plans for the future.
While there has been one Emeabiam before me, her reign, everyone in this community can attest, was commendable and left a befitting legacy. which I will do my best to maintain and, God willing, surpass. It's left to the stakeholders of Emeabiam to join hands with Emeabiam II. We must leverage on our best hands and strategize for a better day and a better tomorrow for ourselves, for our children, and our future generations.
It's an honor being deserved. Being the second person to get that order of Ada Emeabiam. Ada Emeabiam is not given easily. It's something unique.
I see it as a great honor to my wife. This is someone I know has the interest of our people at heart. So if the people choose to honor her, it's a great thing. So I feel so happy to witness this event.
History is made here today. Ada Emeabiam Institution represents the new strides of a people emerging from a long and difficult past, a victory for not just Igbo women, but women all over the world. A new day has dawned in Emeabiam. The people now have a voice, a community once marginalized and neglected. Emeabiam now looks forward with hope. A future once bleak and uncertain now holds promise. And the dream of a little village girl, the daughter of a village headmaster, to see her community flourish is coming to fruition.